Have you ever wondered why the name Rothschild is synonymous with absolute power in the financial world? A family that started from a poor Jewish ghetto in Frankfurt and today is considered one of the most influential forces in the global economy. Today, I'm going to tell you the real story of this financial empire without bias, just facts. Over the past 2 centuries, the Rothschild name has been intertwined with some of the most important financial events in world history. From the Napoleonic Wars to the construction of the Suez Canal, from financing European railways to playing a role in Brazil's independence. But how did one family manage to gain such widespread influence? And more importantly, what position do they hold in today's global economy? In this video, we'll examine 3 key points. First, how Mayer Amschel Rothschild became the founder of this empire. Second, the strategy of the 5 sons and the expansion of the international banking network. And third, their actual impact on the modern economy. Let's dive into the documented history of perhaps the world's most influential banking dynasty. Our story begins in 1744 in the Judengasse, or Jewish quarter of Frankfurt. Mayer Amschel Rothschild was born in one of Europe's most restrictive and impoverished areas. This quarter was only 10 to 12 feet wide, housing 3,000 people in cramped, unsanitary conditions. But here's the fascinating part. These very limitations forced Mayer Amschel to develop unique skills in commerce and finance. His father, Amschel Moses, was a money changer who worked with Prince William of Hesse. When Mayer Amschel lost both parents in the 1755 to 1756 epidemic, he came under the mentorship of Wolf Jacob Oppenheim in Hanover. This experience introduced him to the complex world of banking and court agents, specializing in rare coins and metals. His return to Frankfurt in 1764 marked a turning point. His expertise in rare coins and metals quickly attracted important clients, including the hereditary Prince of Hesse-Kassel. His marriage in 1770 to the daughter of a court agent brought both a substantial dowry and a network of influential connections. Despite suffering a significant embezzlement by an unscrupulous employee, his fortune was so substantial that he remained one of the era's most prominent bankers. Now we reach the most fascinating part of the story. Mayer Amschel had 5 sons and made the brilliant decision to send each to one of Europe's major financial centers. Nathan went to London and established N.M. Rothschild, and sons James chose Paris and founded de Rothschild. Frere Salomon made Vienna his center of operations. Karl went to Naples. Amschel Mayer remained in Frankfurt. This strategy was genius because it created the first truly international banking network. They could transfer money from one country to another without physically moving gold, using sophisticated credit notes and bills of exchange. Their communication system was faster than any government's. Their private couriers delivered news faster than official messengers, giving them a crucial advantage in markets and rendering the House of Rothschild invaluable to governments. The brothers developed what was essentially the world's first multinational banking enterprise, bridging distinct financial markets across Europe. The Napoleonic Wars, 1803 to 1815, provided the family's first major opportunity. They developed a sophisticated system that allowed fund transfers without moving physical coins. If Britain needed to pay troops in Austria, the Vienna branch would pay in local currency while London collected from the British government. They arranged significant wartime loans, including £5 million to Prussia in 1818, about $675 million in today's money, and £9.8 million to Britain's allies during post-war restructuring. Contrary to popular myths, when Nathan Rothschild received news of Wellington's victory at Waterloo, a full day ahead of the government's official messengers, his first concern was not financial advantage. He and his courier immediately took the news to the government. The basis for their most profitable move came after the news of British victory had been made public. Nathan calculated that the future reduction in government borrowing would create a bounce in British government bonds, leading to what's been described as one of the most audacious moves in financial history, a 40% profit on government bonds. After the Napoleonic Wars, the Rothschilds shifted their focus to the burgeoning private industrial economy. They financed critical infrastructure projects that drove economic transformation across Europe. They helped finance railway construction across several European countries, often managing and coordinating major infrastructure projects. Mining investments in early oil industry, coal, iron, and copper supplied raw materials for industrial production. Suez Canal, they played a crucial role in financing this strategic project. In 1875, the London banking house of N.M. Rothschild and Sons lent £4 million to British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli, facilitating Britain's purchase of Suez Canal shares. They also played a crucial role in Brazil's independence from Portugal. The agreement required the Brazilian government to pay £2 million to Portugal, and N.M. Rothschild and Sons successfully raised this capital on the London market. The family funded Cecil Rhodes in the creation of the African colony of Rhodesia and took control of the Rio Tinto mining company from the 1880s onwards. The 19th century brought a wave of challenges for the Rothschilds. The revolutions of 1848 swept across Europe, shaking the foundations of aristocratic power. Even the Rothschild home in Frankfurt was attacked by angry crowds. At the same time, a new generation of joint stock banks and large financial institutions began to rise, challenging the traditional, family-run model that had defined the Rothschild legacy for decades. But these weren't the only forces at play. The unification of Germany and a rapidly shifting balance of power across Europe forced the family to adapt, to rethink its strategies in an increasingly volatile world. They responded by diversifying their investments. Beyond government bonds, they expanded into railways, mining, and industrial ventures. They also forged strategic alliances with other banking houses while maintaining close ties with powerful political figures. Yet not everything went according to plan. In 1846, one of the railways under their management suffered a tragic accident that killed 14 people. The timing couldn't have been worse. With social unrest growing and the gap between rich and poor widening, the public saw the Rothschilds not as builders, but as symbols of elite indifference. Today, the Rothschild name still carries significant weight in global finance, but the shape of their influence has changed. In 2003, the British and French branches merged, forming Rothschild & Company, a unified global brand that remains a powerful financial advisory firm. Then there's RIT Capital Partners, chaired by Jacob Rothschild, with assets valued at over £2 billion, and the Edmund de Rothschild Group, founded in 1953, specializing in asset management and private banking. Today, the family's businesses focus mainly on merchant banking, wealth management, and strategic financial consulting. But their reach goes beyond banking. They hold investments in real estate, energy, mining, agriculture, and even own over a dozen wineries across the world. Their family motto still echoes through generations: Concordia, integritas, industria, Latin for harmony, integrity, and industriousness. The Rothschild family pioneered international banking practices that we often take for granted today, from sophisticated credit instruments to cross-border financial networks. Their conservative approach to risk and ability to work across political boundaries created a template for modern global banking. While their story has often been distorted by anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, their actual contributions to worldwide finance and the rise of modern capitalism are essential parts of modern economic history. They transformed from a modest enterprise in goods trading to a multifaceted conglomerate that helped shape the financial world we know today. Their true legacy lies in the establishment of enduring institutions and practices that fundamentally changed how international finance operates. What's your opinion on the influence of old banking families on today's economy? Have they been pillars of global stability or shadow powers shaping the course of capitalism from behind the scenes? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experience, analysis, or even your doubts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe to support our work. We'll continue exploring the world's most powerful families and financial institutions. Who do you think we should cover next? Until we meet again in the world of history and capital, see you in the next video.